Welcome back, guys. We're actually pre-recording our Tuesday chat today with Dr. Heidi because she is off to High Rocks this weekend. Whereabouts is High Rocks? Where's the event this weekend, Heidi?
It's Brisbane. It's the Pan Pacific semi-finals
Oh, amazing. So you're just flying out today?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Nice, nice. Well, we are just going to capture a moment of Heidi's time before she goes and talk everything dog ears today. And I know there's lots of bullies out there, bully owners out there that have this problem, and well, just all dogs really. But I think dogs that have their ears that stand up, so Frenchies, we're looking at you. Sometimes the stuff gets in their way easier than normal. But yeah, we after our foot chat that we had last Tuesday, people were like, "Oh, can you guys talk about ears? Like, are they the same?" So here we are, and we're doing that. So I've got a couple of questions, Heidi, to start us off of what our customers are asking us all the time. And one of the best ones, or the most unusual ones, I think, is why do my ears smell? Why do my dog's ears smell like corn chips?
So, if your dog's ear smells like corn chips, then potential is you've got a yeast overgrowth in there. So, itchy ears in dogs, or otitis externa, is one of the most common things that we see in practice as vets. And just like skin disease, it's actually multifactorial. So the fact that you've got an excess yeast in there tells you that there's some things going on behind the scenes. It's not just the yeast, it's
Yeah.
lots of other factors. What started it, what's allowed it to happen, and now what's allowing it to be maintained in the body. So things like allergies.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest presentations of itchy dogs or food allergic dogs or atopic dogs can just be hot, red, itchy ears, and then they get these secondary yeast infections.
Can I
So
quickly
that
ask
smell like
what's an?
corn chips.
Can I quickly just butt in? Because I know our customers will be wondering what's an atopic dog.
So that's a dog with its immune system is gone a
Oh,
bit
okay.
haywire, and it's
Yeah.
reacting to all sorts of things. So
Okay.
yeah, I can send you through some information on that, but that's a nice simple way of looking at it. It's an allergic dog.
An allergic dog. Okay, cool. So it's like a fancy way of saying you could say like my dog's atopic.
Mm.
Not just it's allergic to everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So atopic dermatitis, dogs are allergic to things like environmental factors, so the grass, pollen,
Yes.
dust
Yeah.
mites, versus a food allergic dog that's more likely to be allergic to things like they're often chronic, they're often non-seasonal, but those dogs typically get recurrent ear infections. And so rather than just dealing with the primary issue, which is the fact that the dog has an ear infection,
Yeah.
you need to be dealing with the root cause of why does the dog keep getting an ear infection and
Yes,
smelling like
exactly.
corn chips.
So, and if we are dealing with the root cause,
Mm-hmm.
are we saying that this is probably coming from the gut health as well?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
so the reservoir for yeast is actually not the ears; it's the gut.
Yeah.
So, by treating the gut, and we do this a number of ways as a holistic veterinarian, but the first thing I always do is I eliminate the fuel source for yeast. So, yeast
Yeah.
like sugary things. So, carbohydrate or biscuits or kibble turn to sugar in the body, and the sugar feeds the yeast. So one of the most simple things you can do is stop stoking the fire, is just take your dog off dry food for 2 weeks, just feed
Yeah.
them meat and veggies for 2 weeks, clear the system, take the heat and the fire out of the yeast, and the yeast will simply starve.
Yeah.
Now, for some reason, not a lot of owners are told that, and they keep feeding and stoking the fire and giving carbohydrate and sugar to the yeast. So you don't have to use fancy drugs to kill yeast. You just starve it and it goes away. And
Starve
then you
it.
can
Yeah.
reseed the gut.
Yeah. Resetting the gut really, and yeah, just taking it back to basics and removing the sugar, which is like what we do in humans too. Are we able to talk about Frenchies and like with these sticky up ears? Like, are they more? Is it a myth, or are they more prone to ear things? Like since the ears are open, things are just flying in there.
Well, Frenchies are dogs that are prone to lots of things. So it's not
Yeah.
actually necessarily the fact the ears stick up. It's often the fact that they're actually atopic
Yes.
or they
Okay.
have
Yeah.
food sensitivities. And as I say, some of the only symptoms of dogs, people fail to understand often that ears are skin but stuffed down little holes. So that can
Yes.
be the only symptom, is that your dog has an allergy issue, is that it has these hot, red, itchy ears. But that's exactly what that is. So yes, Frenchies are overrepresented for ear infections,
Yes.
but they're actually also
Yeah.
overrepresented for lots and lots of other things. So common in
Yeah.
Frenchies, make sure they don't have ear mites or
Ear mites.
otodectes cyanosis. So really common in puppies, really common in multi-pet households. And the symptoms of having ear mites in dogs is really intense itching, where they get their little face and they just, because it's crawling around in there. Now,
Oh.
if you get, we make an ear cleaner swab that is
Yeah.
that's a natural ear swab. And sorry about the beeping in the
It's
background.
all right.
Sure.
You're just outdoors in the
Um,
elements.
you can, yeah, it's beautiful in the sunshine.
Yeah.
You can clean out the dog's ear, and you'll see these really dark coffee ground type debris.
Yeah.
That's a sure sign that your dog may have ear mites and that they need to go to the veterinarian and they need to be treated for parasitism.
So that dirty sort of coffee look that comes out of the ear
Dark
is ear
black
mites. Yeah.
coffee grounds, yeah,
I was just
that's
thinking,
a
yeah, my
real.
question was, what does that look like? But so they're those little dark browns.
That's right. Yeah, and so lots of people will ask that, and
Yeah.
they don't actually realise that that's a simple fix. So using any of the parasiticides from the vet is a really really good thing to do.
Will
Likewise, if you're
wiping those
Frenchie,
out fix it as well, or do you need to use something like like a proper substance from the vet?
so I missed the first part, Sammy.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Will you? I'll say if I find that my dog has got ear mites, like I'm like, okay, cool, I'm cleaning it out. If I clean out the ear mites with like a cloth or something, will that get rid of it?
No,
Or
no, you
do you
have
need
to
to?
actually treat with a parasiticide to get rid of your
Okay.
mites. Because if
Yeah.
you imagine, they look like little scuttly aliens and they're
Okay.
scrabbling around in there. And we've got these amazing little scopes that actually you can put in a dog's ear and you can see mites scuttling around in there. And if you imagine how that would feel yourself, you
That'd be
wouldn't sleep
awful.
properly, you would, it'd be super annoying. And then, of course, the ear is getting chronically irritated. So,
And
yeah, that's not much fun for the dog.
no,
And
and
an
would
easy
they be
fix.
more active at night or like in the morning, like when they've been lying down? Do they, once they're settled, do they sort of start sculling around? Like, do you see it more in the morning and night when the dog's itching, or is it just all day?
Well, I think that itch more when the dog is, it's hot, and
Like a
maybe
hot.
when the dog is more active.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very intensely irritating for the dogs.
Okay, so our next question, or my question really is there things in the dog's like anatomy, or like, is there a certain dog that's like predisposed to ear problems or conditions?
As veterinarians, we see a lot of spaniels. So those dogs have got floppy ears. They've often got poor airflow through the ears, very narrow ear canals for things like breeds such as bulldogs. Then you get the really hairy canals. So the canals, the air can't get down the ear very well in dogs like poodles, which is why some owners tend to pluck their poodles' ears to get a little bit more
Oh,
airflow in there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then there's the swimming breeds. So dogs that go swimming or in the lake or the streams regularly, they can have a lot of moisture in their ears, and that it can macerate the ear and make them a little bit more predisposed to having a secondary fungal, bacterial, or yeast infection. So think warm, think moist, think low airflow, perfect microbial incubator for ear infections.
Yeah. Kind of like, yeah, when you go swimming and it all gets sort of stuck in there and it doesn't get out.
Mm. And then you
Yeah.
have overzealous owners.
Oh, okay.
So overzealous owners over clean their dog's
Yes.
ears,
Yeah.
and they strip the normal biofilm and the protection layer in the ear and will macerate that ear. So they strip out the natural oils that disrupts. There's a normal microbiome in the ear as well, and that can actually drive inflammation. So for some dogs that we see, if it's really moist and really red, and you can see almost like a channel that the owner has pushed an ear plastic tube down into the ear, we just get them to just back off for a week, let that ear dry out, and we
Yeah.
use some of our Totarol and things to just dry that out a little bit, and that ear just naturally settles down. So you don't want to be over cleaning you want to check the ears at least once a week. If you have an issue, then you can step into cleaning or treating infection. But what you're seeking is balance, not ongoing disruption of a normal microbiome.
Yeah. So like leave it as it is. Like don't get overzealous. Don't like get in there and clean everything out like because
Mm-hmm.
it looks dirty. Like
Mm-hmm.
let the air do its own thing, like let it clean itself. It's kind of self-regulating, isn't it? Unless there's a problem,
So
don't
you'll
touch it.
know really quickly when you clean an ear, it should come out almost like a clean, normal waxy. If it comes
Yeah.
out black, then obviously you're thinking of otodectes. If it
Yeah.
comes out as a really sticky sebum or there's obvious pus or
Yeah.
discharge in there or blood, then that's an issue. But if you get a
Yeah.
normal wax, then you're looking for balance. You're not looking for creating a problem where there doesn't need to be one.
Yeah,
One of the things I
absolutely.
should warn people about is that we see a lot of dogs with foreign bodies in their ears,
Oh,
and a
okay.
lot of people miss it. So
Okay.
they think, oh, my dog's just got ear problems, and they just leave their dog shaking their head. Now, there could be a grass seed down there, particularly a
Yeah.
barley grass seed or plant material, and it's a sudden onset. So suddenly the dog gets really, really irritated. They will violently shake their head, and often they'll tip their head to the side that's affected. Now, that's a sign you need to go straight to the veterinarian. Often the dogs need to be sedated because the ear canals are an L-shaped horizontal and vertical canal, and you
Yeah.
can't see round to the horizontal canal. So you have to
Mm.
use a scope to get around the corner. And when we look down there, we see these barley grass seeds sitting right on the eardrum or tympanic membrane, and they're incredibly painful. We have a short window of opportunity to grab the sleeve of the barley grass and take it out without it perforating the eardrum, creating an ear rupture, and then we've got major issues with balance and infection in the inner ear. So that's a really important thing. If your dog is violently shaking its head, they can
Yeah.
also pop a blood blister in their
Oh,
ear,
wow.
known as an oral hematoma. And the
Yeah.
largest one of those I've seen is the size of a grapefruit. They'll blow a
Yeah.
blood blister on their ear because of the centrifugal force of them shaking their head. So it's really, really important to get those things checked.
Wow. So yeah, if you do see any changes, like go to the vet, get it looked at. Like if it's fine one day and it's not the next, or if there's like a drastic change, quickly get it checked because ears are important.
Mm. And if
Yeah.
they're violently shaking their head and trying to get their foot
Yeah.
in there, there's something in there,
Yeah.
usually. Mm.
Yeah. Um, okay, I'm just thinking as my looking at the rest of my questions here from our customers. And I think we've pretty much covered them all because my last biggie was like, are ears actually linked to gut health? And they absolutely are, as we've spoken about already. So
Mm.
did you have anything else that you wanted to add on ears or anything like that you think other customers should know?
Yeah, so for some dogs, if they are atopic, if they are a French
Yeah.
bulldog, there is hope. So as a surgeon, we do a procedure called a ZEPS procedure or a
Yes.
lateral ear canal ablation, and we also do TEGAs or total ear canal ablation. So we essentially remove the whole side of the ear canal so that it's like a hydro slide, and you
Well,
can
yeah.
clean it permanently without having to repeatedly sedate the dog and go to the vet. So these are end stage procedures, but for dogs that have really suffered for a long part of their life, um, I do lateral ear canal ablations a little bit more quickly now than I used to, say, 10 or 20 years ago. The dogs I used to do would be, 8, 10 years old. And
Yeah.
they got the value of that procedure for the last 2 or 3 years of their life, but they've suffered for more than half their life with recurrent ear infections. And these dogs are more likely to bite. It's not the dog's fault. These
Oh.
dogs are more likely to have, disrupted sleep. They can get grumpy. They're living in pain. Nobody likes earache. So if you do
Mm.
have a recurrent infection, talk to a holistic vet. Talk about changing what you're feeding the dog. Obviously, giving some superfoods and some probiotics is really helpful. But getting an actual diagnosis on, is my dog atopic or does it have food allergies, and then consulting a surgeon. So I love doing ear surgery because it is life changing, truly life changing for both the owner and the dog. So seek help soon,
Yeah.
and have the benefit of that procedure for the entirety of the dog's life, not just the last year of the dog's life.
Yeah, exactly. Act early. Don't leave it to the last moment. Don't
No.
just think it's a normal way. Yeah.
Mm.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
that
Well,
covers ears.
that covers ears. That was so good, and I learned so much just then, especially about ear mites. I really like that's something that I've just really learned. Like if it is black, um, like there could be something else going on in there. Like that's not normal coloured dog wax. So that's really interesting.
Good. Happy
Cool.
to
Well,
help.
thank you so much, Heidi, for your time, and best of
My
luck
pleasure.
this weekend.
Thank you very
I know you're
much.
going to smash it.
If I hit my sub 60 in high rocks, you'll hear me shouting from the rooftops.
Oh, I'll be listening out from New Zealand.